Welcome back, everyone, to Sean's show. I'm here with my producer, George.
Hello.
Give it up. I have an excellent show for you. I hope you're having a wonderful week in the world, wherever you are, whether you're in New York City or Hyderabad. There's so many wonderful cities in the world. There's another city I like. There's another city called Austin, Texas that I like. I don't hate it. I like it. So we got a lot to cover. There unfortunately was a shooting in Austin, Texas yesterday, a mass shooting, and we're going to cover that. We're going to cover the hottest stories of the week. We have so much to get to. The takeover, Trump's takeover, his federal takeover of Washington, D.C. He wants to get rid of all the crime. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about the Israeli attack on the Al Jazeera journalists that killed a bunch of journalists. We're going to talk about that. We have so much great stuff. Just story after story. I'm like, life can't get better than this. I read the news every day and I'm like, life cannot get better. There's so many good stories. Israel killing journalists in a war zone. I mean, that's basically cotton candy to my. That's like that. I read that and I actually get the sensation of cotton candy in my mouth. That's what my nose looks like. But we're gonna cover that. We are gonna cover so much. We have Andrew Yang. That's not a name you've heard since 2009 probably, if you're a tech bro. Or 2019, if you're a white guy. 2019, Andrew Yang is now stepping away from politics and doing something that we all wanted, which is party promotion. Andrew Yang is now a party promoter. I know that you're like, wait, what is Sean high? Is he talking about someone else? Are we talking about the same Andrew Yang? Are we talking about the Andrew Yang that ran for president in, I don't even know when he ran. Literally, my mind has been so fucked and it's so numb that like I cannot distinguish between the years 2016 and 2020. Does anyone else have this experience where you try to think about the past and the past is like, you know, people bring up stuff like, remember Andrew Yang? And you're like, yeah, what year was that? Was that COVID? Was that 2016? Was that 2012? I don't even know. Like, I genuinely don't. And that's very bad because I'm a broadcaster spreading information. And I don't know if Andrew Yang ran in 2016 or 2020. That's pathetic. That's bad. But we are, whatever year he ran in, now he is transitioning to party marketing, which is fun. So we have a lot to get to. I think what I want to start with though is a story that is very exciting, and so we'll start with Taylor Swift, guys. This is Israel's killing journalists. Doesn't matter. Trump's taking over DC with the National Guard. Doesn't matter. You want to know why? Because Taylor Swift has announced her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. The Life of a Showgirl. It's her 12th. That's a horrible word. You know, there's some words that I'm just like, some words, I want the words to kill themselves. Like, I don't wish death on anyone, but there's some words where I'm like, I would cyberbully a word. Like, if 12th was a person, I would DM them and be like, you should fucking kill yourself. I'd be like, hey, I just want you to know that everyone fucking hates you and you should kill yourself. That's what I would say to the word 12th. 12th is crazy. How about 12th? I guess what else would it be, right? TWEL TWELFTH TWELFTH 12th That's too many consonants. That's too many consonants in a row. LFTH? That's crazy. Now, Taylor Swift has announced her 12th studio album called The Life of a Showgirl, and it was very hotly awaited by her fans. And this is from the New York Times. The album is, Taylor Swift is a musician, but more importantly, Taylor Swift is an enterprise. We all know this. We all know that Taylor Swift is not a musician as much as she is a government. Taylor Swift is a nation state. Taylor Swift is an idea. Taylor Swift is a god. Taylor Swift is history, the present and the future. Taylor Swift is everything. And some people obsess over her, and they go to such great lengths to follow her that it borders mental illness. It probably is beyond a mental illness, to the way that some people follow this woman. But they're leaning into it. And that's what's happening with everything in culture is now. So the internet has done something to our culture. The internet has done irrevocable damage to our psyches and the culture. Everything is an analytic. Everything is data. Everything is focus grouped. Everything is commercialized and tested and delivered to you to be consumed. Except for Sean's show. We are raw. We are not focus grouped. I do not focus group what I say. Okay? Maybe one day when I'm Taylor Swift, this will be a focus group show where everything I say will be spoon-fed to you by Israel. But until then, I can be a critic. So I just want to read you this paragraph from the New York Times because this just goes to show how I don't even know what the word is. The word is how the word is meticulous, what the New York Times calls it. How strategic and the mind games that they play are. Taylor Swift is playing some serious mind games. Let me just read you this paragraph from the New York Times article about her album launch. Listen to this. She did not disclose the release date of the album or any other information about its tracks. Known for meticulously placing Easter eggs ahead of announcements, Swift's team set off speculation from her hyper-attentive fan base by posting a carousel of photos on Instagram on Monday. Could the 12 photos taken at stops on the Eras Tour correspond with the singer-songwriter's 12th studio album? Did the pattern of orange outfits align with Swift's practice of color coding her catalog? Here's a quote from her. Think about when she said, "See you next era," the post-caption tease. So Taylor Swift's putting out Taylor Swift has become QAnon for white women. This is QAnon for QAnon was QAnon for white women, but Taylor Swift is QAnon for liberal white women. Taylor Swift puts out these almost like dog whistles. They're almost like subtle, what is the point? Is it to just drive revenue? It's to create a fever. She's that's one thing that's one thing you will never find me doing. You will never find me feverishly awaiting a product. I can't wait for Marvel 98. It's dude, please. There's nothing wrong with being a fan, and there's nothing wrong with being excited. I like getting excited about stuff, but waiting outside for the Nintendo Wii. I did that. I was 13. Yeah, I waited outside at midnight for the Nintendo Wii. That's what I did. I clawed off another man's face to get a Nintendo Wii. I killed people for a Nintendo Wii because I wanted it, but I was a child. But like when I see grown, this is like Disney adults. It's like when I see grown people just like feverishly trying to like decode. People are like looking at Taylor Swift's Instagram posts and they're trying to like decode what she's saying. Like they have like that meme from Always Sunny, like Charlie's like his hair's all fucked up and he's like, I figured it out. It's like hey, she's a musician. What is there to figure out? She makes music. What is there to figure out? The release date? Okay, let's say you decode her Instagram and you figure out the release date. Then what? You get a job. How about you apply for a job? It's just crazy. The announcement, let's go down. I don't know if there's anything else on this story, but this is okay. This might be interesting. Listen to this. The fan theorizing began to build on Monday when a podcast posted to social media a teaser advertising a very special mystery guest in silhouette. Her appearance was confirmed Monday night when the podcast social feeds posted a short snippet revealing Swift alongside Travis Kelce. Now, I mean, I'm not against marketing. Like, this is just, but let's call it what it is. It's marketing, okay? Like, this is just a way. This is a way to keep white women. Honestly, I'm happy about this. If we can this is a way to keep white women busy with like unimportant things. On the one hand, it's kind of like it's tough. It's tough. When it comes to, when it comes to white women, it's tough because I'm a feminist, but I'm also racist against white people. So, I don't know. I'm like, it's just like, maybe it's good. Maybe it's a good thing that like all of these women are like distracted with, I don't know, decoding Taylor. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know if it's like good or bad. Like we need I don't know. I'm on a detour. I've been watching Sex in the City with my girlfriend, and I've learned a lot about the female psyche. And we need to bring back the Sex in the City like cunty attitudes of those women. Those women didn't give a fuck. Those women would never have been decoding a Taylor Swift Instagram post. They were lawyers. They had careers. They were fucking billionaires. They had real things to do. They had real options. They had ambition. They were in Manhattan. They were trying to figure out men. Actually, that's what it is. It's a new puzzle. Here's the thing. No one's having sex anymore. And so the female mind needs to find a puzzle to decode. And that's what Taylor Swift is. Taylor Swift is a substitute for a boyfriend. These Instagram posts, instead of a woman being like, what the fuck did he mean by that? And what he meant is what he said. It's like you're on Instagram looking at Taylor Swift and you're like, she was wearing orange on November 12th. That means it's that. And that who else is orange? Donald Trump. Let's put it all together. And it's like, but the fun is in decoding it. And ultimately it's a distraction from what really matters. And obviously what really matters is not Taylor Swift's 12th album. Obviously that's not what matters. There's a ton of very important news that's way more important that I mentioned earlier. The most important story of the day, Andrew Yang is now marketing parties. Isn't that great? All the people that were like, everyone from a few years ago that was like, hey guys, I'm going to fight for you. Now he's pushing parties. What the fuck? Oh, if you go to my Instagram, George, there's I actually made a funny comment. You can go to my notifications. Sorry, I didn't on the left there. Sorry, I didn't link it. On the heart. I made a little comment that I thought was fun, but we should watch the video as well. Let's see here. If you go down, it should be something like party promoter rebrand. Oh, it might have gone away. Oh, that right there. Keep going down. Right there. Right there. Beautiful. Click on that. So, let's watch this video because it's just it's the partying video on the left there. But before we watch the video, I do want to set it up. So who was, I mean, we need to do a moratorium. We need to do what's it called? A mausoleum or a post-mortem. We need to do, I'm going to do like one of those, I'm going to do one of those like YouTube essays. I love YouTube essays are just all AI now. Every YouTube essay is just a fucking AI, like the downfall of blah, blah, blah. But we need to do a real YouTube essay on the downfall of Andrew Yang. Because Andrew Yang was on Joe Rogan talking about universal basic income and he was going to change the world. People forget that Andrew Yang promised to change the way our economy was structured. And now what is he doing? Now he's promoting parties in FIDI. That's what he's doing now. So let's take a little listen.
You can do it for free at the next offline party in New York City on August 21st. Let's make America party again. See you soon.
Okay.
Apparently,
can you pause it? Okay. Oh shit. There we go. Okay. So let's watch the video start to finish because it's not that long. I want to remind, before we watch though, I just want to remind everyone that this was the man who was trying to bring $1,000 a month in universal basic income to us. And I am so embarrassed. I am so embarrassed that I was a Yang, what do they call us? Yang bros? Bernie bro, Yang bro. I was a Yang guy. I believed in Andrew Yang. Then I realized that, here's the thing. Andrew Yang and Peter Thiel have one thing in common. And the one thing they have in common is that when you grow up in Silicon Valley and you buy into all of this bullshit about like techno innovation and technology can help, techno optimism, Andrew Yang and Peter Thiel are both techno optimists. And they are, what that does to your psyche and the way you talk, you're in this in group. Peter Thiel and Andrew Yang, when you're in this Silicon Valley in group, you start to say things that are so fucking crazy to the average person, but it's actually like, and it's enlightening to all of your friends, and it's fucking insane to everyone else. Like we've covered, the woke AI will follow you to Mars is the most iconic thing I've ever heard out of Peter Thiel's mouth. The woke AI will follow us to Mars is like a bar. Hilarious. And Andrew Yang has mind fucked himself into this mission where he's like, he wants to do something good. And he thought maybe that was politics. And now he's like backed himself into this corner where now he's, this is the best he can do. So let's watch.
Americans are not partying. We party half as much as we did 25, 30 years ago. Why? Number one, money. Number two, phones. You're probably on one right now. Number three, general sadness. Through all of that, we need to get together, make some memories, maybe look someone in the eye. IRL. You can do it for free at the next offline party in New York City on August 21st. Let's make America party again. Soon. Apparently, Americans are not partying.
Why? I wanted UBI. Why, Andrew? Why I wanted UBI? I just wanted $1,000 a month. I don't want ketamine. I want health care and UBI. I don't want to go to a party. I don't want to go to a party. I have gone to enough parties. You want to do a phone-free party in New York City. That's the best you got. I give you $5, you cheap fuck. I donated $5 to your political campaign, to your super PAC, or whatever. Maybe you didn't have one. I gave you $5, Mr. Yang. Don't tell me that went to ketamine. Did that go to ketamine? Did you take my $5 and pay an editor in Pakistan to edit this video? Did you spend my $5 on bottle service? I literally don't know anymore. And I made this comment. If you can scroll to the right, I made a comment on this post that did very well. It's let's see, it's right there. I said political candidate to party promoter. Let's show the people here. I'm not sure if you can zoom in a little bit with the trackpad there. Political candidate. Here we go. So I commented on Andrew Yang's Instagram because I don't give a fuck. 41 likes, which is one of the top liked comments on this post. I'm very honored. Political candidate to party promoter is the craziest rebrand of the century. And I stand by that. We've seen the opposite, right? We've seen party promoter to political candidate. Donald Trump is basically party promoter to political candidate, right? He was a socialite in New York, and he flipped that into a political career. But to go from political candidate to party promoter when you are already wealthy. So, like, let me get this straight. You did all this work, and now you just want to promote you don't even need for the money. You're not even doing it as a career. You're telling me you're just promoting parties for the love of the game. You want to do... Is this Andrew Yang's way of solving the male loneliness epidemic? Hey, Andrew, by the way, there's other cities than New York. I know that, like, you don't like to believe that, and I'm a New Yorker. I've been here a year. I'm going to call myself a New Yorker. Even though you're not a New Yorker until you've been here for 10 years. I know, whatever. Who gives a shit? As someone that lives in New York, I get it. But the best you can do is, like, does anyone act... I don't know why the reason this is not a big story. The reason why I'm focusing on this is because this is an example, and it's evident that it's evidence that no one believes anything. Isn't that fucking sad? It feels like no one, and it's a free country. You can do whatever you want. But Andrew Yang is a grown man and dedicated a good portion of his life to political aspirations and had all of these convictions. He had all these convictions, and now they're just gone. So I'll see you at his party. I'm very excited. I'm going to Andrew Yang's party. There's no phones allowed. I don't like this no phones allowed bullshit. You know what? If you're doing a no phones allowed event, all that tells me is you're less entertaining than TikTok. Facts. If you are doing a no phones event because you don't want people recording, they go, no phones allowed. We want you to be in the moment. Hey, if I'm entertained by what you're doing, I'm not going to pull out my phone. But guess what? All it is you want to create an environment where you don't have to compete with TikTok. Guess what? We all have to compete with TikTok. It's 2025. You are constantly competing at all times when you are interacting with anyone in any way, whether it be in person or a performance or on the internet. You are always competing. Here's what you're doing. TikTok is right there. And if you're not entertaining or charismatic enough to beat TikTok and to be more you have to add more value than TikTok. And if you can't do that, I'm sorry. Don't deny it. This no phone shit. Everyone is like, hey, you know what I need my phone? Some people happen to need their phones for medical reasons. Some people, every time they do these no phone concerts and comedy shows, these no phone events, it's like some people need their phones for medical reasons. Did you know I happen to need my phone for a medical reason? Okay? How am I going to text my ketamine dealer without my phone? How am I going to text my drug dealer if I have my phone in a yonder bag? If you put my phone in a yonder bag, I'm burning the yonder bag. I'm taking the. You know what? I should start selling a yonder bag knife, a yonder bag removal device. I actually stole that bit from another podcast. Full disclosure. Sorry. That's already been thought of. Nix that from the record. I'm not an asshole. But no, these no phone events it's ridiculous. So that's the soft news stories. I think that's all the soft news stories. Let's get into the tough shit. Let's get into the real tough shit. So, oh wait, there's one more soft story that I want to do. I thought, yeah, it's the I love how it's the suicide one. There's one more light story that I want to do. So I thought this was fun. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of. We will get to Israel. Don't worry. I know most of you listen for Israel. You're like, get to the Israel stuff, Sean. Guys, don't you want to know my personality? You're just gonna listen. Like, don't jump to the Israel stuff. I know that you can go to the YouTube transcript and just Control F and search for the word Israel. But haha, I'm saying the word Israel right now, and I'm not even talking about Israel. So now you have to go through more. You have to sift. This is not a show that you sift through. You listen from start to finish, or you don't listen at all. If you are sifting through the episode, just get the fuck out. This is Sean's show, okay? And we're talking about a man, an artist, who is, and I want to approach this lightly. There's a man, an artist, who has announced that he doesn't want to live anymore. Hey, get in line. Get in line, asshole. Oh, you're an artist and you want to kill yourself? Get in. Welcome to the fucking club, douchebag. So here's the headline. This is the New York Times. He announced his intentions to die. Then the dinner invitations rolled in. Huh, okay. On Instagram, the artist Joseph Awish Darko, is that Awa? I'm sorry. On Instagram, the artist Joseph Awa Darko asked the world to invite him to dinner before he ended his life. More than 150 meals later, he is still going. Hey, man. Dude, I respect the hustle, bro. I respect the hustle. I told everyone I know I'm going to kill myself, and I didn't get to go to Outback Steakhouse. I told everyone I know. I announced that I was going to commit suicide. No one took me to get a foie gras. I don't even know if that's a food. Is that a food? Is it duck? It's the stuffed foie gras. Okay. I told everyone. I texted my group chat. I'm like, I'm thinking of committing suicide. I'm thinking of doing a medically assisted suicide. No one was like, hey Sean, let me take you out for a last meal. No one said that to me. So I'm going to give my props to this gentleman, this artist. So I mean, this is my reaction to this story. It's a recession indicator. This is a recession indicator. This is like the GoFundMe. You know when you like get cancer and you need to like do a GoFundMe to raise money to like fund the hospital bill? This is kind of like the equivalent of that, but like for like emotional connection and dinners and food. But let's read a little more because I think this is really innovative. Would be the word the word that comes to my mind. In early December, a 28-year-old Ghanaian artist and entrepreneur named Joseph Awa Darko announced on Instagram that he wanted to die. His battles with bipolar disorder had crushed his will to live, he said in a minute-long video. So he had moved to the Netherlands to pursue a medically assisted death. And now, you guys, this is a big throwback. If you're a listener from way back in the day, the very first episode of a show I used to do called The Thoughtless Experiment, which you should go listen to. Not listen to this first, but go listen to that after. The first episode of that show, we did a show with a bit called Pete's Pods. And what it was, the joke was basically, there's a bunch of startups in the Netherlands and parts of Northern Europe, Northwest Europe, that are doing startups, private companies that are they're designing suicide pods. So the bit that we did was, like a budget version of that, like like a used car ad in Texas, but it'd be for like a pod. So it'd be like, is your life shit? Come on down to Pete's Pods. Do you not have any money to go to the fucking Netherlands and all those pussies? Come on down to Pete's Pods. I'll kill you in back. I'll shoot you out back for $5. My pod, Peter's Pods, we don't even use any gas. We don't even use nitrogen to kill you. I just put you in a wheelbarrow and blow your head off. So that was a fun bit that we did. Pete's Pods. So now the pods are back. The return of the pods. Now, you might be wondering, Sean, how do you feel personally, ethically about a medically assisted suicide pod? And I'm all for it, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get in a pod and end your life, be my guest. Be my guest. Now, the only caveat I have to that is that you have to pay. You must pay. You must pay. This, I mean, every news story I put up is literally just a recession indicator. Here's how bad it is, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is everything ungodly expensive, the dollar's collapsing, everything is so expensive, nothing's affordable, the cost of living is skyrocketing, Trump is taking over DC with the National Guard, and the worst part is you have to pay to kill yourself. They want to monetize. I'm serious about this. Here's how dystopian our world is. With these medically assisted suicide pods, not only is every aspect of your life monetized by a corporation, they want to monetize your suicide. They want to monetize your fucking death. Isn't that insane? They want you to get in like a sleek Forever 21 suicide pod with like Chapel Roan playing in the suicide pod. Imagine you get into your suicide pod and there's like a woman there with like a clip, like an iPad. If you go to like get a medically assisted suicide, it's gonna be like a hot woman there with an iPad, and like she'll be like, so like what kind of music would you like to be playing during your death? Like we actually have all of Spotify. We actually, like, if you give me your Spotify account, we can actually play whatever you want from your Spotify. Yeah, I really like Chapel Roan. Okay, no, I love Chapel. I love Chapel. Like, I'm actually good friends with her. I love Chapel. I can actually text her. Do you want me to text Chapel for you? We can do like a little FaceTime before you commit suicide. And you're like, can you play Pink Pony Club while I commit suicide? Oh my God, I love that. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. Boop, 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 boop. So just sign here, and there's gonna be a tip screen. Be like, you're gonna be paying for your medically assisted suicide in the Netherlands, and they'll be like, and literally whoever's like facilitating it will be like, they'll hit you with it's just gonna ask you a couple questions. They're gonna spin the iPad. They're gonna spin the iPad for you. It's just gonna ask you a couple questions. And guys, I guarantee you, at the medically assisted suicide, the tip options are not gonna be 10, 15, 20%. The tip options are gonna be 10, 20, 15,000%. Okay? Because they know you're going. They know you're going out. How do you even price? These are real conversations that people have in boardrooms. How do you even price a medically assisted suicide? Do you sell it at cost? Do you do it at the cost plus 10%? How do you even do this? Is it free? Well, how do you pay your employees if it's free? How about this? How about we don't make a frictionless process to people commit suicide? And guys, I'm as cynical as they get. I am as cynical as they get. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I want to kill myself. Don't make it easy for me. Don't make it frictionless. People, like, there are all these studies about how everything is too easy now. There's no more friction. Silicon Valley has ruined all of the friction in the world. There's no friction anymore. Everything is bam. Everything is pull out my phone, beep, 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 beep. And then the thing comes. The food comes. The blowjob comes. Not that, but no, the food comes. The movie tickets get purchased. You don't have to talk to anyone. You talk to AI. No one needs to talk to anyone to do anything anymore. And now that's all been done so effectively that the only place left to innovate is to create medically assisted pods where your life is ended. And guys, I am pro assisted suicide. I'm not saying that, like, I'm not advocating for people to, you know, unnaturally extend their life beyond what makes sense for them. If you're in a shitload of chronic pain every day and your life is unbearable, I'm not saying that, like, it should be illegal to commit suicide. I'm not saying that. Now, creating there's no way this can go. That's what I'm saying. There's no way this can go wrong, right? Creating a pod where you can just die. There's no way that goes wrong. A death pod. It's a death pod. It's a death pod. And I'm not talking about a Gazan tent filled with journalists. That's also a death pod. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually announcing my medically assisted suicide. I'm going to Gaza. That was fucked up, but it's real. So this guy, let's go back to this guy, Mr. Awa Darko. He on Instagram, let's say, so the Instagram post, so he announced on Instagram that he wants to die. He goes, "I'm just so tired," then segued into a series of images of him having what looked like a pretty good time. What is this? Who wrote this? I think whoever wrote that was a little cunty. That was a little bit cunty. The Instagram post started, "I'm just so tired," and then cut to images of him having a blast with his friends and smiling. Literally smiling and floating in shimmering blue water, relaxing on a lawn in the shade of a tree, pausing in contemplation on a wooden bridge. 3 days later, he followed up with one of the stranger dinner invitations in the history. Strange. Okay, this is badly written. Whoever wrote this is rude. First of all, you're being rude to the subject of the article, right? And then also you're saying your word choice and your grammar is terrible. 3 days later, he followed up with one of the stranger dinner invitations in the history of dinner. As he navigated the obstacles of an officially sanctioned end, he wrote in a post he would launch what he called, quote, "the Last Supper Project." Okay. Anyone who wanted to cook an at-home meal for him could sign up on a calendar app linked to his Instagram bio. On the appointed evening, he would visit, and the assembled would converse, eat, and connect. Wow. So, speaking of monetizing your suicide, this is kind of what this guy is. I kind of respect it. You know, and I'm not being ironic here. I respect radical art that challenges every belief that you have. And, you know, this guy, but like, at the same time, how many so basically this guy has a project where he's saying it's an art project, and it's the Last Supper Project, where he's inviting people to cook him a meal. That's, By the way, that's not a detail we should overlook. He's not cooking the meals. Basically, he's saying, I'm going to kill myself. Who wants to be my private chef before I die? I'm going to kill myself, but before I do, can you come over and make a meal for me? But it's art and it's glitzy. It's glitzy and it's on Instagram and like, you know, it's a PR opportunity for both people. It's a win-win. Look, it's a win-win. You get clout, I get food, and I get to tell everyone that I want to kill myself without actually doing it. No, but that is in the article. I'm not being mean. That's in the article. By the way, don't kill yourself, man. If anything, this art project should show that you don't need to die. If anything, this art project should show that, like, you do have value, you know? Like, life is so short, and to end your life without having 150 meals cooked for you by random strangers is not a life well lived. I want to find meaning again with people, he said in the post, while I still have time left on Earth. Within a few days, thousands of people reached out. To date, Mr. Awa Darko has attended 152 Last Suppers. I mean, doesn't it am I crazy to say that after the 100th Last Supper, it's not exactly a Last Supper? How many suppers do we get before? How many suppers until we're like, okay, maybe it's just, you could call it the Supper Project. I don't know about the Last Supper Project. Now, I like it. Let's keep going down. This is just a little fun one. People come over, they cook for him. This is some nice food. Look at this food. Wow. Having fun, having a blast. Okay. Oh, here's the paragraph we have to talk about. The second one here, George. Here we go. Oh, listen to this. He's essentially the charismatic star of a Gen Z home cooking show, but he brings a rawness that is rare for social media and inspires people to root for him. Hey, he wants to kill himself. I mean, when he wrote appreciatively about two sisters who served him a Persian dinner, he said he was in the throes of a depressive episode. I cried heavily during the latter 2 hours of the dinner before they sent me home in a cab with a bouquet of flowers. I'm sorry for laughing. All I did was show up, and they held so much space for me. All right. Pause. Holding space? Where have I heard that before? I may be a straight white man, but I happen to know what that means, okay? I happen to know what holding space is from. I know the context of that. It's from a musical that we all know. And an interview, I mean. So it's from Hamilton, right? I think so. The post received 10,000 likes. If people will open their arms to a stranger to help them experience being alive more fully before choosing to exit forever, maybe there's hope for all of us. Mental health experts, by contrast, are appalled. Oh, this is interesting. Mr. Awa Darko, they say, is implying that euthanasia is a legitimate answer for people with bipolar disorder, a treatable condition. And the parents of depressed children contend that his farewell tour romanticizes suicide. Wow. Now, I think I happen to agree with Mr. Awa Darko. These mental health experts are putting a damper on this guy's good time. Hey, stop being a wet blanket. You know what? These mental health experts are probably bipolar themselves, and they're just jealous. And they're jealous that this guy is having a blast. Hey, if you're going to kill yourself, why not monetize it? Why not monetize your death? That's what we're all doing. This podcast is me monetizing my death. I don't know when I'm going to die. Well, actually, I'm not monetizing. I'm losing money on the show. Other people are. I'm unmonetizing my life. So yes, it is controversial. It is interesting. But you know, I don't know. I respect it. I respect a guy who gets out there. You know, most people that kill themselves, they don't get 152 privately cooked meals. Okay? So that's good. So that just goes to show that, like, capitalism works. The free markets work. When you let people do what they want and experiment in this, we need to start holding space for capitalism. I've always said this. We need to start letting people exist in the space of capitalism. Let people exist in a Denny's. Can we start letting people exist? I'm so upset. I'm so tired. I'm tired of the way things are. And I need to say this to everyone right now. We need to let people exist under bridges. We need to let people hold space between the fentanyl needle in their skin before they inject fentanyl into their blood. We need to hold space. I like it. But okay, now that we've done that, we're finally ready, guys, for the real dark stuff. Gaza and Trump. No, I'm kidding. Let's talk about Israel. Let's do it. I mean, so I guess that there's two main updates. The two main updates are our friend. I should really stop calling him our friend. People are going to take that out of context. Our friend Benjamin Netanyahu, friend of the show. He's here today. I'm interviewing him. So all right, before we even get into the updates. I just want to reiterate that, like, so they're like, I don't know. I'm just trying to be real with you guys and talk this out because I've been struggling with it. I have planned a date for my death, but I'm hungry. Can you help me? Okay. I've planned a date for my death. I'm going to the Netherlands. Honestly, why else would you go to the Netherlands other than to kill yourself? Actually, I've heard it's gorgeous, right? Isn't it like a beautiful... Honestly, though, Netherlands and a lot of, like, Northern Europe is giving racism. It's like, you know, it's like, oh, those countries are, you know, everyone does point to, like, Northern Europe as an example of, hey, well, these other countries implemented universal basic income and government health care that's really good, as examples of, like, and I think for a good reason. It works. Canada, even. You know, I was in Canada. Whenever I go to Canada, my mind is blown about how good it could be. Canada, like, I know I shit on Canada, but it's because I love Canada. Canada's awesome. I know I shit on it like a bunch, but, like, when you really actually pull back the layers, Canada's awesome. You can break your leg and they'll fix it and you won't be in crippling debt. I mean, like, I don't even know. I honestly, the American mind cannot fathom that. When you travel and you see these other countries, they really do look at Americans like we are fucking crazy. Like, the way we have structured our society is so utterly insane and broken that, like it's just hard to, it's really hard to comprehend. But when it comes to this subject, when it comes to Israel, Palestine, it's always very hard to talk about. It's hard to make funny. And I'm personally upset with so many broadcasters, media personalities, comedians, artists that have an audience that are just seemingly have no integrity whatsoever. Or maybe It's either they're stupid, either they're like dumb as fucking rocks, or they just love money and power more than anything, and they'll say anything that week that is popular. So, and it's like, okay, well, if you're just going to say what's popular that week, why are we even listening to you? Why do you even have an audience if like you're going to flip-flop on every fucking issue every week? And again, like I'm not saying that like it's fine to change it's fine to change your beliefs and your values over a period of time. It's fine to be uninformed and learn things and get informed and then have an opinion. That's also fine, right? I'm not saying that everyone has to be perfect, but like what people when it comes to this issue, I see some people out there that are like having dinner with the perpetrators of the genocide in Gaza, and then the next day going on Twitter and tweeting at the president and saying, we need to get aid to Gaza right now. And it's like, okay, you just had foie gras with Jared Kushner. Faux gras. I'm not that rich yet, guys. I'm not that rich. You just had faux grass. You can't have faux grass with Jared Kushner and then pretend to give a shit about humanity. Fuck you. I'll spit in your face. You make me sick. You make me sick. You make me sick. Or you're a dumbass. And I don't believe that because these people have a team of people around them. They are like highly intelligent, highly charismatic. The ability to build an organization, build an entity, build momentum around themselves and their brand. You have to be smart to do that. So then to flip-flop on this issue every week is insane. You're not a 12-year-old. You're not 13 years old. You know, it's like fucking grow some fucking balls. Just people need to grow some fucking balls on this issue. That's what they need to do. So many people are worried about, what if a lot of people, unfortunately, so many people, they talk publicly and they talk on their broadcasts, and the first thing that's on their mind is, what are my friends going to think when they see this? What are my famous friends going to think when they see this clip? And that's fucking real. So many people that have shows or they have audiences, whether they're, again, comedian, broadcaster, artist, rapper, I don't care, whatever you are. If you're a public figure, so many of these public figures, they are talking and they're on these interviews and they're on these debates and they're not speaking from the heart. They are thinking, I got to toe the line. I got to make sure that what I say doesn't upset this guy because I want to get on this guy's show so I can get more famous. Fuck you. Literally fuck you and suck my dick. I don't give a shit what people think or what they say. And if you do, then no one, like, as far as I'm concerned, you're Mossad. As far as I'm concerned, you are Mossad. If you defend Israel right now, you are Mossad. I'm sorry. And what's crazy, guys, is I'm Mossad. That's the really crazy mindfuck, is that I am, that is how, and that all ties in. That is actually how powerful Israel is that I am a focus grouped Mossad asset. What, you don't even know it, but this show is actually Israeli propaganda. Because it seems like I go hard on Israel and like I'm like a free thinker, but I'm actually getting you to slowly warm up to the government of Israel. I am a gateway into you listening to the IDF's podcast. That is what this show is a gateway drug into listening to the IDF's podcast. Ironically, at first you will listen to my show ironically, and then slowly you will listen to it unironically. And that's when I start to say, hey guys, maybe we need to think about both sides. That's when I betray you. If ever I say, hey, maybe we need to consider both sides, just stop, just click away because I've lost it. I've lost the plot. Now, what are the actual updates here? So Benjamin Netanyahu has announced that he will take over all of Gaza City and basically take over all of Gaza. And this should not be a surprise to anyone who has been following this in the last year at all. So, and what is the reasoning? What is the rationale behind this? Benjamin Netanyahu has decided to take all of Gaza, and he is using the words liberate. Benjamin Netanyahu said that we will take Gaza City and the rest of Gaza. Israel will take over Gaza so that we can liberate the Palestinians from Hamas. That's the idea, is that he will go and liberate and free the Palestinians from Hamas, who is an oppressive regime that hates gay people and steals food and is really evil and bad. That is the rationale. Now, what is the overarching goal here? What is the real goal? I mean, the real goal is the same goal that it's always been. It's always been about conquest. It's always been about colonization. This is colonization. It's colonization in the big 2025. That's what it is. And it's I mean, it's actually getting to the point right now where you're seeing Germany. This is crazy. Germany has suspended its weapon sales to Israel. And that's how you know if you still support Israel. Let me tell you this. Germany just stopped selling weapons to Israel. If Germany has said, hey, this is too much, you guys are doing too much, then maybe you're on the wrong side. Germany stopped. Germany said, that's too much. Germany. Okay? Then maybe you've gone too far. Australia, I believe, has recognized Palestine as a state, and so the tide is slowly finally shifting against Israel, and it's but at the same, and that's actually makes sense in the context of what's going on, is that the Israeli government, they're not stupid. They understand that the tide is turning against them. They understand that, like, the international community is looking at this and finally being like, what the fuck? What the fuck, Israel? What the fuck? They're seeing, as if the last 18 months wasn't enough. As if the last 18 months wasn't enough evidence that this is insane and reprehensible and inhumane. And there's no words for it. For whatever reason, the activism is working. For whatever reason, now the international community is finally sanctioning and shifting their support away from Israel and creating an isolatory situation for Israel where it's basically us, the United States being us and Israel. And so that is why Israel has decided to move in my opinion, so fast, because they know it's now or never. It's now or never. If we don't take it now, then we may never be able to take it. So that's why they're moving now. And not only that, they've they have this, the government, they have this simultaneous position where they're like, which has been said by a lot of people, but they have this simultaneous position where they play the victim and they also are bombing, assassinating journalists that are eating food in tents. So that is that is what's untenable. That is what is untenable about the situation, is that you can't lie forever. You can't lie. You can fool some of the people some of the time. Whatever that phrase is. You can fool some of the people all of the time, and you can fool all of the people some of the time, but you can never fool all of the people all of the time. And you can never put Johnny in a corner. You can never put Sean Riley in a corner. But it's just insane. I mean, these so like, could you scroll up to the headline, George? Because I think this is something that is insane. So they're taking the rest of Gaza, and here's the headline from the New York Times. Lots of New York Times coverage today, guys. I'm sorry. I want to say I usually like to mix it up, but the New York Times was banging. They were crushing this week. Israel Qatar tensions escalate after Israel kills Al Jazeera journalist. So they're just. This is not fake news, people. Unless you think the New York Times is fake news. But if you still believe in the New York Times, Israel and Qatar, which backs Israel and Qatar, which backs Al Jazeera and has hosted Hamas leaders, have long had a relationship marked by both public hostility and quiet collaboration. Is this a video? Let's watch this video. So this is the funeral. It's so sad. It's just hard.
Breaking news coming out of Gaza, where four.
Let's watch this. Let's see here.
Murdered in a targeted Israeli strike. Anas al-Sharif, Mohammed Koreika, cameraman Ibrahim Zafar, and assistant.
So they drone striked them. They were in a tent near a hospital, and they drone striked them. I mean, the Israeli military said the attack targeted al-Sharif and called him a Hamas fighter posing as a reporter. Wow. Al-Sharif has denied the allegations in the past. Al Jazeera called the claim fabricated. The government of Qatar, which funds the television network, called the targeting of journalists crimes beyond imagination. So, all right. So that was the justification for killing this Al Jazeera journalist is that he was a journalist. No, excuse me. He was a Hamas militant disguised as a journalist. And, you know, who, at this point, the real question that we have to ask ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, who is a terrorist? Who is a terrorist? Am I a terrorist? Yes. But it's like, who's I don't know. It's who's a terrorist? Am like, if you take photos of a government bombing a tent and then share those photos on the internet, does that make you a propagandist? Does that make you the equivalent of Goebbels? Because that's how Israel is trying to spin this. They're trying to spin it as if these Al Jazeera journalists that were just reporting on what's going on, they are trying to spin it as if those journalists are in fact propagandists that are trying to get everyone to support the Hamas terrorist entity. That's how they're trying to spin it. Now, here's my take on this. Even if he was doing a little bit of terrorism, I would still be very upset that they killed him. Because, like, you know, how much terrorism can you get done when you're a journalist? Like, he was doing the job. He was on the Al Jazeera payroll. How many IDF soldiers can you shoot? You can't shoot. Here's why this makes no sense. Nothing they say makes any sense. You can't shoot at a soldier and also take his photo. He's a GoPro and an AR-15. It doesn't make sense. And it's like, you know, who's the terrorist, by the way? By the way, you're going to bomb journalists. And it's the same playbook that the Nazis used. It's crazy. It's just a crazy time to be alive. It's the same, unfortunately, it's the same playbook that the Nazis used to dehumanize the Jews that the Israeli government is using to dehumanize Arabs and Palestinians. That's the same playbook. Calling them rats, calling them less than subhuman, calling them just calling them all of these names that trick people, calling them rapists, like they're criminals too, like they're, all this stuff about how they like incest, like all of this crazy Nazi shit that was used by Goebbels to brainwash. It's brainwashing, and this is just another a step in the brainwashing process. Guess what? Those were like the last journalists in Gaza that were reporting on it in an at least semi-objective way. And guys, don't get me wrong. No media outlet is totally objective. I get that Al Jazeera has bias. The New York Times has bias. Every media outlet has bias, okay? But it does not look good. It does not look good when you bomb the journalists that have the Arabic Journalist Company. Now, if Israel had bombed the Tel Aviv Times journalists, then I would have been like, what the fuck? I would be like, that's crazy. But like, they didn't do that. They bombed their haters. They bombed their haters, which in a sense, kind of lit, but you're the bad guys, okay? It's not lit. It's not lit. Let's keep scrolling down. Maybe there might be something else here. See why I did all the light news up top? It's hard to make this shit funny. I am funny. It's hard to make bombing journalists funny every week. An Israeli airstrike that deliberately killed several Al Jazeera journalists has aggravated tensions between Israel and Qatar, which funds the television network and is also a central mediator in talks to end the war in Gaza. Let's keep going down here. Crazy images. If you're just listening, it's like, if you're just listening, that the image we just scrolled past, it was like the Nelk boys jacking off into Benjamin Netanyahu's mouth. Okay, let's see. Last week, Yair Netanyahu, an Israeli podcaster. You know what? Should we do something on the fly here, George? I want to learn more about Netanyahu's son, who I just learned is a podcaster, like myself. Let's just check out his Instagram. Let's just watch a video from Yair Netanyahu. He has a show. Oh my God. That's him with Mr. Trump. Not surprising. I cannot overemphasize how much everything has just become podcasting. Is this him? Maybe there's a video we can watch. Is this in Hebrew?
First cousins, so there is some genetic problems there, and they presented it like he's suffering from starvation, but they also cropped the picture, the same picture they took. When you zoom out of it, the original picture, you see his brother his brother is also a child, stands next to him and looks perfectly healthy, and his mother looks perfectly healthy. Notice that all the pictures of the so-called starvation in Gaza, they're all children, not a single adult. There is one picture of supposedly another child that's supposedly starving, but his mother is clearly obese with double chin. So this is like, come on. A lot of the pictures are turned out to be from Yemen from 2013 and stuff like that. Some of them are AI with like 12
Oh, wait, can you pause
fingers.
Okay. I found, all right. So here he is trying to deflect and say that there's no starvation crisis in Gaza. And his deflection is that he says some of the photos are from Yemen in 2013. So I don't know what happened in Yemen in 2013. I'm going to assume maybe it was another starvation. But he's like, that was the last one we did. Wait, I want to make sure. Can we look that up, George? Can we see if there was a starvation crisis in Yemen in 2013? If you're listening, oh, there was?
Yeah, there was a civil war, and we were bombing them for some reason.
We were bombing them? Mm-hmm. Okay. I said that like it's good. I'm like excited about the bit. I'm like, okay, so I can do the bit.
It's still happening.
The famine.
2013.
Also, this guy's a fucking liar. It couldn't, I mean, it may be, okay, so there was a food crisis in Yemen in 2013.
It's still happening.
It's still happening. Okay. Okay. All right. So this guy, so I didn't know, I guess we just found out, ladies and gentlemen, Benjamin Netanyahu's son has a podcast. And on his podcast, on his show, he's talking about how a lot of the images of starving kids in Gaza are fabricated or taken out of context. Or he says, and this is the craziest one, he says they're actually from a Yemen famine in 2013. Now, it's crazy, and I'm just going to assume that the famine was caused by the West. Is that too much of a leap? Sorry, I'm making you look up a bunch of stuff.
It was a civil war.
Oh, it was?
So it was the Houthis.
Oh, right, it was the Houthis.
Genocide. And 2013 was when the conflict came to a head. And then 2014 they took over.
I'm going to assume we were not on the Houthis side. Hopefully, I mean, not hopefully, but were we? I'm sure the U.S. was. I wonder. I'm just going to assume Israel was financing the opponents, the Houthis' opponents. Or I guess it was a civil war, but I'm wondering if. Oh, I forgot we attacked them in 2025. See, guys, here's the issue. When I try to be accurate, the momentum of the joke dies. Can't you let me spread misinformation for the bit? Please? I'm like, wait. Well, we gotta know before I do this joke. Before I do this joke, I gotta make sure that it was Israel, in fact, who starved Yemen. Because we don't know. Anyway, I'll just do the bit. Whatever. This is do your own research, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a factually correct news show. All of this is false. Everything I say is a lie. Here we go. George is killing it. Israeli-Yemenese relations. It goes deep. 1964. I mean, wow. This is... Damn, that's a long Wikipedia. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Civil war has been going on a long time too.
Here we go. Yemeni response to Israeli military action. In response... Okay. During the 2012 Gaza war, according to the statement released to the Saba news agency from a government source, Yemen has announced its strong condemnation and denunciation of the brutal Zionist aggression in the Gaza Strip. The Yemeni government, So basically, okay, all right. So they're involved.
I think it was us that bombed them.
Okay. I'm wondering who caused the famine. Probably some combination of Western nations. But let's play the video again just so people know. And then let's make fun of this gentleman. Let's make a little
5%
joke.
of the marriages in Gaza are between first cousins, so there is some genetic problems there.
I'm telling you, there's Nazi shit.
They presented it like he's suffering from starvation, but they also cropped the picture, the same picture they took. When you zoom out of it, the original picture, you see his brother. His brother is also a child, stands next to him and looks perfectly healthy, and his mother looks perfectly healthy. Notice that all the pictures of the so-called starvation in Gaza, they're all children, not a single adult. There is one picture of supposedly another child that's supposedly starving, but his mother is clearly obese with double chin. So this is like, come on. A lot of the pictures are turned out to be from Yemen from 2013 and stuff like that. Some of them are AI with like,
That was from the last time we genocided you guys. Hey, that's not fair. What the fuck? I know that. I starved that kid. That's not from this one. He's like looking at the photos of the starving kids. He's like, number 5's from the last one. That's not fair. What the fuck? He's like, you can't. He's like, hey, you know what he's doing? He's being like, he's being a cheating boyfriend. He's like, why are you bringing up old shit, baby? They're like, the whole world is like, Israel is starving children in Gaza and you're committing a genocide. Look at these photos. They're like scrolling past the photos. Like, you see these kids that are starving? And it's like, number 5 was from the last time. You're bringing up old shit. Why are you bringing up old shit, baby? Why are you bringing up old shit? But you'll recall at the beginning of that video, he said that 5% of marriages in Gaza are between first cousins. That is Nazi fucking shit. That is literally dehumanizing and saying that like, oh, well, they're a product of incest, so they don't deserve to live. And it's like, it's insanity. And look, guys, I know this is very hard to make funny, and like I'm trying. Also, you know, it's statistics. It's this whole thing. It's a fucking mess. This whole thing is a mess. And look, I'm trying to like be self-aware. So like if you come at me and say, well, Sean, like, why don't you actually look up the incest data by race? How about I'd rather not. I mean, that kind of makes, I don't know. To me, I'm like, when am I just a Nazi? And then you're like, well, what are you scared of what you're gonna find? You're scared of what you're gonna find if you look up incest data per capita? Hey. Let's all take a deep breath. Whether or not the incest rate per capita is different by race, let's not forget that let's not lose our focus. You're starving thousands and thousands of, did you just look it up? Oh my God. By the way, I'm a beacon of the truth, and I'm not looking this up for any bad reason. Oh, you look at, okay, thank God. All right, there we go. I didn't actually read the full Google search. So George looked up incest data per capita English royalty. Thank you. You saved my ass there. I thought you were going to go Arab nations. That's a good point. The English the English royalty, they all fuck their cousins.
It doesn't give me a hard number.
Okay, you know what? I keep it real. Hey, maybe incest rates are higher in Gaza, but you know where else they're pretty fucking high? Kentucky. And the English royalty. It is not unique that also, by the way, like here's the issue. I mean, and this is actually a crazy thing to have to try to address, but I'm gonna try. Here's the crazy thing about when like Yair Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu's son, is framing that population, the Gaza population, as it's an attempt to very manipulatively and meticulously and subtly dehumanize people by saying that their incest rates are higher. That's a despicable thing to say. And secondly, like this idea that like there's it's literally it's nationalism and it's literally racial supremacy. When you describe other races as innately being more likely to have incest in their populations, you are automatically asserting that your race is somehow better because you have less incest. Now, I happen to think that we're all human beings, and yes, there are very small subsets of every culture that probably have more incest because they're actual cults. I'm talking about like groups of 20 to 30 people. Religious cults have lots of incest. English royalty, tons of incest. It's a way to that's where it's bad, is like it's a way to concentrate and control power and control ideology. Okay? But like to say that like thousands and hundreds of thousands of people are just statistically more likely to commit incest because of their DNA is fucking disgusting. It's despicable, okay? My parents are brother and sister. Okay? So this topic actually really strikes a chord with my heart because my mom and dad are brother and sister. My mom and my dad are, it's crazy. My mom and my dad are they're actually related. They're brother and sister. So I'm going to say that, like, I love saying that like when people are like, oh, like, where did your parents meet? Oh, they're actually, they're like no, it's great. My mom and dad, they're actually, my mom's dad and my dad's mom are actually the same person. No, it's actually crazy. So I know, like, some families, hey, I've got like a, modern family, right? Like a lot of people, they've two dads. Like in my case, my mom and my dad, it's just map this out in your head. My mom's dad and my dad's dad are the same person. And my mom's mom and my dad's mom are also the same person. So there's like, they're brother and like they're related. I'm at like a very fancy soiree. No, my mom and dad. No, it's really funny. They actually met. They were actually really young. Did you know my mom and dad have known each other since like preschool? Isn't that crazy? No, yeah, they like grew up together and everything. Yeah, they're brother and sister. You know what? I'll honestly, if nothing else, I will stand up for products of incest on this show. People, just because you have parents that are first cousins doesn't mean you're actually a superhuman. You're a superpower. You have superpowers. You can levitate. So, all right, that's enough Israel. So depressing. So fucking sad. I tried my best, ladies and gentlemen. I tried my best. But we can't not talk about it. We cannot not talk about it. I'm having dinner with Jared Kushner after this, and I'll let you know what he thinks about the whole situation. Let's talk about our favorite guy, Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump. I have to do more songs. I used to do songs on this show, dude. I have to do more songs. So what's Trump been up to? What's Trump been up to? Trump is in the process of a federal takeover with the National Guard. He has nationalized the DC Police Department. And the reason that he wants to do that is because apparently crime in DC is at an all-time high. Crime in DC is at an all-time high. And it's so bad, In DC, the streets are shit and everyone's shooting fentanyl and jacking off in the street and shooting each other and all this shit and living in tent cities. Guys, have you been to DC? The rents are insane. The crime rate in DC is at a 30-year low. 30-year low. But somehow, one Doge staffer, let me lay this out. Let me lay this story out for you in simple terms. Here's what's going on. A Doge staffer by the name of Big Balls got beat up because he was like trying to stop a carjacking. And I don't know if that's the full story. We don't know, but let's just take him for granted. Take that benefit of the doubt. A Doge staffer, Big Balls, was trying to prevent a carjacking. He gets involved and he gets beat up. And there's this photo that went viral all around the internet a few days ago about his face being bloodied and he's covered in blood. And Trump saw this photo and said, oh my God, saw that one crime and said, oh my God, DC's out of control. I can't believe this Doge staffer got beat up. First of all, my issue with this is maybe the Doge staffer got beat up because he was a Doge staffer. Maybe it's not. Maybe this wasn't a statistical random crime that just happened to happen to this guy because crime is crazy. Maybe he got beat up because he was a little fuck and he was being a little shit fuck. Maybe he was being a little fuck ass little shit fuck and getting involved in things that he had no business being involved in. If I'm in DC and I see a carjacking happening, I'm a New Yorker. I'm gonna mind my business. Okay? Probably. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be a hero. As long as no one has a gun to their head, if it's a run-of-the-mill carjacking and no one's gonna die, I'm not gonna. Maybe if someone's about to die, I'll get involved. But to get dude, you gotta know. You don't. This guy was getting involved. He was pulling a Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse. Nothing is worse than when white dudes get involved in places. Get involved. It's like, bro, this is not your battle. You don't need to get involved. Hey, man, carjackings happen all the time. It's not your car. You don't need to get involved. It has nothing to do with you. Why are you getting involved? If you really want, call the police. They won't do anything. Right? But he gets involved. And suddenly and Trump sees this. And now here's where it all ties together. Trump has basically decided to use this Big Balls attack. I want to kill this guy just for being named Big Balls. One of the worst names I've ever heard. This guy, and that's how you know this administration is so fucking stupid, is that this guy, that Big Balls was probably his gamer tag from Xbox. It was probably his name on 4chan where he was sharing swastika hentai porn. That's where this guy's name came from. He's like a 19-year-old kid on one of the most important teams in the government, some of the stupidest, but also the most impactful teams in the government, cutting the deficit, named Big Balls. And he got attacked. I would attack him just for being named Big Balls, but he got his shit rocked. You know what? I think what happened, I don't know the full story, but I think Big Balls was in the wrong neighborhood and he got his shit rocked. Sometimes you get your shit rocked. You get involved with the wrong situation. I hate it. I hate it when people get involved. Don't get involved. Don't involve yourself. This one time I was outside I was on a date with my girlfriend and we're standing on the street, right? And I was standing on the street. It was 3 a.m. We had a great night. We got a slice of pizza. We're waiting for our lift. We're waiting for our lift home. And, you know, we're just hanging out there in, I believe it was the Village in Manhattan. And this drunk guy comes up to us. And he comes up to my girlfriend and he goes, he's smoking a cigarette and he's like, hey, can I ask you a question? And my girlfriend's like, sure. And he goes, are all guys assholes? Do you think all guys are assholes? And she goes, no, I don't think all guys are assholes. I think there's some good guys out there. And he goes, thank you. And I'm just like, it's 3 a.m. You're hammered, smoking a cigarette, trying to talk to my girlfriend. Don't get involved because I will rock your shit. You see this? You see this arm? You see that? You see all that muscle? The camera makes it look smaller, but George can attest. I'm ripped, okay? If you're under 220, just don't even try, okay? But like, people love to get involved as if it's not 2025. People love to get involved as if I give a fuck about, as if anyone gives a fuck about, like, it doesn't involve you. I don't like we live in like an eavesdropping culture. We really do live in an eavesdropping culture. I can't tell you how many times I'm on TikTok and every other TikTok video is like, if you were staying at the Hilton Garden Inn in Des Moines, Iowa on August 10th, 2025, your husband Jared is a cheater. And actually, in that case, I kind of do like it because it's like, damn, like, get fucked, dude. Like, I'm all for outing a cheater. But like, there's other ones where it's like people like subtly record conversations and it's like, you don't know what the fuck, you don't have the context for shit. And you're going to like post it. But anyway, the context on this is that Mr. Trump has deployed the National Guard into DC because he wants to clean up the streets. He wants to clean up the streets. Could you zoom in a little bit here? Let's take a look. President Donald Trump said Monday he's taking over Washington's police department and activating 800 members, damn, of the National Guard in the hopes of reducing crime. I mean, it's at a 30-year low. It's at a 30-year low. And that's the thing. There's no crime that needs to be reduced. There's no crime that needs to be reduced. This is a federal, I mean, this, you know, a lot of people on the internet are saying like, this is the end. A lot of people online are saying that like, first it's DC and then he's going to federalize he's going to nationalize the police departments across the country, you know, and he's going to use crime as a pretext. And look, what I want to emphasize with this story is like, you know, media is so important. The way that you talk and what these media figures say is so important because media, all Trump sees is like, Trump is a boomer. He might be the greatest generation. He might be like I don't know if he's a boomer or like the one before, but all Trump sees is all of these guys on the internet talking about how DC is a shithole, SF, all these, what do they say? They go, Democrat-run city. These Democrat-run cities are out of control. Go outside and go to the Democrat-run city. They're not that bad. They're really not that bad. New York City is not that unsafe. Yes, if you're in the subway, someone might push you into the fucking subway and you may die. Okay? I'm not saying that that's impossible to happen. Okay? But like, here's my counter argument, okay? Here's my counter argument to all the people that say that the Democrat-run cities are like, third world shitholes with like drug addicts and tents everywhere. Here's my counter argument to that. Let me ask you a question. Have you seen a true crime documentary lately? If the answer is yes, let me ask you just to do an exercise. Think back, where did that true crime documentary take place? Was it Washington, D.C.? Was it San Francisco, California? Was it the Tenderloin? I don't think so. I think that true crimes, I've seen almost all of them, and they all happen in suburbia. Suburbia is where the real danger is. Rural towns and suburbia, okay? Every true crime documentary that I've seen happens in like Irvine, California, or like Orange County, like beautiful coastal cities. All of the crime happens in coastal suburbs, okay? You want to know why? Because people go fucking crazy, okay? In New York, there's no time to fester. Everyone's always moving in New York City. You have to be hustling in a big city. When you're in a big city, you're hustling. It's a culture of building shit and getting shit done in general. Yes, there are some crazies. Yes, there are crazy homeless people, okay? But like the real crime is interpersonal. It happens, it's people you know. It's like personal personal trainers. It's like female personal trainers hiring hitmen to kill their husbands. That is crime. That is the real crime, okay? It's college towns. College towns have lots of that guy just got convicted. That's where the real crime is. It's in college houses where a guy snaps and murders everyone else in the home. Okay? So don't tell me that that's the reason that you're going to DC to clean up crime. If Trump really wanted to clean up crime, he wouldn't send the National Guard to DC. He'd send it to Congress. That's where he should actually send the National Guard. You want to stop the crimes that really affect Americans? Send the National Guard to Congress and search everyone's laptop for insider trading emails. I want to see the emails. Okay? That's where all the crime. Corruption. Clean up. What happened to drain the swamp? The swamp is swampier than ever. The swamp has doubled in size. All Trump did is he added a Trump Tower next to the swamp. That's all he did, okay? Now, there's not much else to say on this. I mean, the National Guard is in D.C., and, I just got to say, I wouldn't want to be in D.C. right now, okay? You know what is happening? And we'll wrap it up shortly here. You know what else is happening? You know what else is a very funny situation that I'm imagining happening is the National Guard is in D.C., and you know that there is going to be a National Guard soldier, okay? And they have to stay somewhere. They have to stay in the hotels. And you know that there's a National Guard soldier that's going to accidentally run into like a trendy D.C. liberal coffee shop in full National Guard garb and have to order a coffee from a non-binary blue-haired barista. And that is an interaction I wish I could be on a fly on a wall for. You know? Because that National Guard guy's like, hey, can I have just like a black coffee, just like a large black coffee? And she'll be like, or they'll be like, we don't serve fascists. We don't serve fascists at blank girls creamery. At dumb bitch. We don't serve fascists at freedom fighters coffee. Freedom fighters and cunts, coffee. And the National Guards be like, okay, bye. Wow, that was bad. I bombed that. I don't know. I don't know where they're staying. Where are they staying? Are they staying at Trump Hotel DC? I don't know. But it's who knows how long it's going to last. We don't know how long they're going to be there. We don't know how we don't know if it's permanent. This could be the beginning of the end. If they're there forever, then this could be the first step that Trump is with ICE in LA and the National Guard in DC. Trump now has the mechanisms to basically disappear anyone he wants to. And that is really, it's too late. Like, it's too late. Once Trump starts disappearing people, he already is. It's basically, this is the end. This is the beginning of the end, folks. Because, like, it creeps in slowly, and then it happens in a matter of months, where you wake up and you're like, whoa, wait, what? Where, I thought we had like three branches of government. That is funny. In a year, you know what's going to happen in like second grade? They're going to be teaching government, and the history teacher's going to be like, now class, how many branches of government do we have? 1. It's like Miss Rachel. This is what it's going to be. It's going to be Miss Rachel teaching second grade with like a bunch of National Guard soldiers with assault rifles like pointed at her. And she's going to be like, okay, class, just like we said, how many branches of government do we have in the United States of Donald Trump? We have 1 branch. Very good, class. Very good. And when did the Federal Reserve end? 2024. And when did democracy end, class? Not yet. When was the last election, class? 2020. And what election was stolen? All of them. Good. Very good, class. That's actually how I would teach my class. I would go, welcome, kids, to the Sean Riley's History of America. I'll go, now, let's start with the CIA. CIA is the best organization in the world. All right, we're going too long here. We gotta wrap. I think that's it, guys. I think that is our show. I had one more. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll do one more thing. I'm sorry, I have to do this last thing. Please stay listening. Don't click away. I have one more thing. So, there's no news story. This is a personal story, and we'll wrap it up. Guys, I don't know if you are out there and now I'm really speaking to you directly. And this is not an ad, just so you know, I'm unsponsored. I set that up like an ad. This is not an ad. It's really tough. I'm trying to get a job, and it's very, very tough. It's a very, very tough time to get a job right now. And it's just insane. And I don't know about you guys. Like, I woke up to an email that may have radicalized me. Like, quite possibly this email I got this morning may have radicalized me against the West. I got this email, and the email, I opened it, and it said, "Congratulations, Sean." I was like, okay. And it said, "We are so excited to offer you the opportunity to move to round 8 of our interview process." Round 8. 8 rounds. I'm not kidding. Round 8. I did 7 rounds of interviews for this job, and they want to move me to round 8. What is round 8? Is it fucking the CEO's wife in front of him? Is it like, what is it? Is it shooting the competing CEO in the back in Manhattan? What is round 8? What have you not learned about me in 7 rounds that you haven't got on round 8? Is round 8? Round 7 was creating a full case study for your board of directors that you implemented. Put me on the payroll, bro. Put me on the fucking payroll, okay? It's the the way companies hire for jobs is so fucking broken, and I'm convinced that it's a conspiracy. and I'll leave you on this. The way that, think about it, because think about it, when you apply for a job, who's getting paid? The interviewer gets paid hourly to interview you, and you do not get paid. Okay? And so that's why all these recruiters want to have so many rounds of interviews. It's because it's their job security. Okay? So under the interview dynamic, what's really happening is that is an exercise for them to keep their jobs. Because guess what? You don't need 8 rounds to hire someone. You need 2 or 3 max. Okay? The reason they do 8 is so that these HR recruiters can fill up their calendars with little meetings and touch bases and sync ups. If you ever tell me to touch base again, if one more person tells me that they want to touch base with me, I'm going to fucking shoot up a Walmart. Okay? If one more person tells me to touch base or sync up or catch up, I'm going to get an AR-15 and I'm going to announce a medically assisted suicide. But before that, I'm going to invite you to cook me a meal. That makes sense. So I wish you luck out there. SeanReillyComedy.com for all my tour dates. I'm going to be in Austin and Dallas coming up. Check me out. I do live stand-up comedy. It's a lot of fun. I'm a very funny guy. I'm a very funny man. Go to the shows, please. And DM me on Instagram. I'll hook you up with some free tickets if you, because you're a listener and I love you. And finally, you guys know what to do. Review the show on Spotify, like the show on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, comment on YouTube. It helps me get in the algorithm so we can grow the motherfucking goddamn show and I can start to pay George a livable wage. Okay? All right? Because I don't. No, I do. I do, for the record. I hope. So that's the show. Enjoy your week. Stay alive out there. If you're in DC, take a selfie with a National Guardsman and get involved. That's my message tonight. Get involved. That's what I want you to do. No matter what you do in life, just make sure you're getting involved. Bye.